Welcome to Talk Dirt to Me, where two farmers shatter myths and take on the top issues facing America's farmers. Here's your hosts, Logan and Bobby Lee.
What's up, everybody?
Yes, back to a good evening.
Weren't we a good evening last time?
No, we recorded the afternoon last week.
Okay, yeah, man, I can't keep up. I can't remember.
Yeah, because we got rained out. It was raining.
Yeah. Now it's supposed to rain tonight.
Oh, yeah. So, what are you sipping?
Larceny. I might feel good on this one. This one's I've had larceny. For people who don't know, I got the bottle right here. If you watch this, our YouTube doesn't get much love. I'm going to just say this. We get a lot, guys, we get really good downloads, but our YouTube is really sad.
Yeah,
and
most people are audio only.
They are, and I get it. I am audio only when I listen to podcasts.
Right, me too.
But we've got a really great YouTube channel. Like, I feel like people underestimate because, like, you could see
YouTube and Rumble now.
Yes, YouTube and Rumble. Like I'm zooming in right now just so if someone's like, what is larceny? You can see this. Like, if you're watching on YouTube, you got a really good view of this bottle of larceny. I'm drinking compliments of our buddy Tim, and it's 125 proof. So
yeah,
I might feel I didn't pour
high octane.
Yeah, I didn't pour quite as much. I mean, people ask me. I've had guys over the years. They're like, "Man, what's the secret to growing a beard like you got?" And I've always said it's actually an act of doing nothing that makes the beard grow well. But I might attribute it to high proof alcohol.
There you go.
And maybe that's part of it. But
I think you were growing a beard at like 16.
And a high proof alcohol. That's what it was.
So it was all the high proof alcohol you were drinking.
Yes.
As a early teenager.
When did you start really getting your facial hair?
Man, I mean, I like had to shave like maybe late high school and into college, but
yeah.
Like as far as like really having enough to try to grow something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I was probably in my 20s. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. See,
I'm not nearly as hairy as you.
I am a mongrel. I am a mongrel. But where we went to school, you couldn't have facial hair, and I used to have to shave at school often. Like
like you get to school and they'd be like, go to the bathroom. And
there was one or two teachers who were just assholes about it. So I started getting a goatee in about the 8th grade. And I'd shave, and there was one English teacher, and she would literally I would always try to push the envelope a little bit, which, back then, hell, I was 14, 15, I was probably watching like some WWF. I'd do like the not Ed Hardy, the Hardy brothers, you remember them? Hardy Boys?
Yeah.
They were like the acrobatic, like they would like do flips off the turnbuckles, but they had like wild facial hair, and so I'd do like the strip down my chin, and but then I'd go to school and I'd have to go shave, and they would make you shave dry with a single blade disposable razor.
Yeah. And
it would trash my face. And so then I just started growing. I had like Elvis Presley like chops. I would just grow the huge sideburns.
Yeah, I do remember you yeah.
Yeah, so but yeah, no, I don't know, man. I am a hairy fella.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Yeah. And actually, that's going to come back up in conversation.
It seems like all my hair now is like in my nose.
My nose, I have to trim my nose hairs.
I hate nose hairs.
Yeah.
But Willis was asking me that I was like plucking some. I was like, God dang.
Ooh, that hurts.
He's like, what? I was like, buddy, you'll know one day. I was like, all your hair falls off your head and it starts coming out of your nose.
Do you have a trimmer? I got a nose hair trimmer.
I cannot. That like makes me want to like I can't. I'd rather pluck them.
The sensation of it.
Yeah, and maybe I don't have a real good one, but it's just like it just tickles so bad.
Mine is like a Remington.
Yeah.
And I've had that thing for years. It does pretty good, but yeah, man, freaking nose hair. What are you drinking?
The Traveler.
Oh, is that Chris Stapleton?
Chris Stapleton. I guess kind of in conjunction with Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
I've
had that. It's good. Yeah.
And there are the two signatures on the back. It actually it's not branded at all as Buffalo Trace, but yeah, it's
yeah.
And I can't remember. I don't think Mr. Tim gave me that bottle, which is weird because he's like half my bourbon was
I hadn't bought bourbon in a long time.
I hadn't either, but somebody gave me that bottle. It may have been my brother or something. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I guess it speaks well to me that people just give me bourbon. Like maybe I'm a good person.
Or they think you're an alcoholic.
Yeah, it's one of the two.
It's either really good or bad.
Either I'm a really good person, so people really like me, or they feel, bad for me. But yeah, I don't know what it is. But yeah, I hadn't had to buy any in a long time.
Yeah, no, I'm same way.
And I enjoy going in the liquor store and just kind of shopping. Just
I do too.
Browsing and let's see what I want to try something different.
Yeah, that's how I am, man. I like to find different stuff, and they always got cool names. Like the branding is cool on whiskey. It's like Rebel Yell or the Big Dick or something. Like there's always some cool names.
Yeah, Rebel Yell. That was how I'm pretty sure when Billy Idol. The song was about. I think they got torn up.
He was chugging Rebel Yell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to Disgraceland episode about him.
Yeah.
He was a wild dude, man. You want to talk about cocaine? Billy Idol was a man. He was a fan of the cocaine.
Yeah.
We got to talk about this. Before we do, we need you to do two things. First, we need you to hit that like button, hit subscribe. And guys, like I said, check out our YouTube. Give us a little love on YouTube, on Rumble. The quality is very good. I mean, we have high HD. Like it's as good as what you'd see in the freaking movies. We even got a cool intro.
You can see me picking my nose.
You can see Bobby Lee picking his nose. So we've got a great
maybe
YouTube.
I'm plucking a nose hair.
Probably plucking a nose hair. But give us a little love on YouTube. And guys, leave us those ratings and reviews. We are right at 300 ratings on Apple. And I told y'all I would have the giveaway ready. I was a liar. I don't. But
I thought about that today. I was like, because I think I was just listening maybe yesterday to some of our last episode. I was like, oh yeah, I wonder. Which I have to admit, I haven't done anything to help you out there.
Next week, we're going to have the giveaway ready. I don't know. There's a part of me that's like, because we're really close to 200 on the episodes. We're 185 or something.
Yeah, this will be 185 or 186. Yeah.
There's a part of me that's like, I ought to wait. But now I'm like, well, we've hyped it up too much because that's 2 months away.
Yeah, another.
Or no, that'd be almost 3 months away.
12 would be 3 months, basically, yeah.
So we won't. But here's what
we'll do another one.
We'll have to do something.
We'll do something for 200.
We'll give someone a brick of cocaine when we get to episode 200.
We'll record topless.
Yes.
That'll drive up our YouTube and Rumble views.
It definitely will. It will. Like our babies, the little baby picture of us.
Yeah.
That one, people enjoyed that. But yeah, leave us those range reviews. Here's what we'll do. Let me look at this. I know this is what I like. I like to kind of, I like to get some input from the audience as well here. Okay, we are sitting at 294 ratings on Apple. The moment that y'all get us to 300 ratings on Apple, we will kick off the giveaway. So that means if tomorrow morning I get up and suddenly, when y'all are listening to this, y'all will, yeah. So when y'all, on Saturday morning, when I get up and I look, if we're at 300 ratings by Saturday morning, then I'll have to go ahead and be like, oh shit, I got to get this together right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the Apple people, just leave a rating and a review right now if you have not done so already.
Yep. And Spotify folks y'all are still just hammering it. Spotify, we're sitting at 378. I'm not going to say we're going to wait to 400, but y'all just keep on chugging along. So the moment we hit 300 on Apple, we'll start the giveaway. And yeah, so do that. And what else I need to do?
Check out agzaga.com. I guess that giveaway is now officially over as of earlier this week, but hopefully you got entered there. Hey, one of you won. Somebody did.
Yep.
But hey, do not despair. You can still go online, go do all the shopping, get your 10% off. Use that discount code TalkDirt, all caps, all one word.
Do it, guys, and go to talkdirtpodcast.com and submit your questions to us. We need some more questions, guys. I want to hear some more good questions, or even send in some, I don't care, tell us some cool stories. We want to hear from y'all. We love our audience. I feel like we have
a really
the best.
Cool story. We'll probably want to have you on as a guest.
Yes. If you had a grizzly bear get in the tractor with you and you finished planting the field because the rain was coming while you were fending off a grizzly bear attack in a close quarters, we want to get you on the show.
Yeah, we'll pretty much guarantee you. We'll probably pay your airfare to get you here. Because if it was a grizzly bear, you would not be anywhere where you're within reasonable
Yes,
driving
very
distance.
true.
So
If you were planting beans in Alaska,
we'll fly you in, put you up at one of the fine hotels here in Tipton County.
yes,
Yeah.
got a 5-star hotel about 7 minutes from here.
Yeah.
And it has a charging station for a Tesla if you have one. No, on the cocaine, I got to share this. We've gotten, just in the last couple of weeks, we've gotten quite a bit of like messages and comments about the cocaine reference.
Yeah.
And it's like, they love it. Everyone loves it. Like, and my wife, she always gives me grief. She's like, why do you do that? Like, you've never done cocaine. And I'm like, because the people want it. Yeah. And we are a man of the people. And so that's what someone asked just the other day on our Instagram. They were like, I got to know where this cocaine thing came from because it is hilarious. And I said, well, actually, we kind of just...
I don't even know what episode it would have started in. It wasn't the very beginning, but it was
pretty early on.
We just started, we drop a reference every time.
And then we skipped one because we just didn't think nothing about it. And then we got like all these messages. And it's like, you missed the cocaine reference. I think since then we've missed it like 2 times. And every time we get called out on it. So that's what it is, guys. We are, apparently, Talk Dirt to Me, we are like the cocaine podcast.
Yeah. For 2 guys that have zero first-hand experience with it.
If you've got a crazy story about farming while high on cocaine, I want you to write in. I want to hear about that.
I'm sad to say there's probably, I don't know that there's a lot of people that want to share, but I would say there's probably more than a few of those.
I'm going to say there's several nearby that we could probably call and talk to.
Again, sadly, I'm afraid that's probably true.
Yes. So yeah, there's your cocaine.
Our official stance is you should not do cocaine. Disclaimer.
Yes. But we are proud Americans and we believe in the right to do what you want to do.
We're both pretty libertarian in our political views. So
yep. So yeah, man.
Do it responsibly.
That's right. So yeah, that's kind of where that came from. But
it was, as the kids would say, it started very organically.
Organically, yes.
It was not planned at all. It happened.
It did. And if you want to see some funny stuff, you need to be following us on Instagram because that's where, like, I just put up the image of us with the cocaine bricks. It was. Did you see that one?
Yeah, people that aren't like on social media with AI and all this stuff, which AI is going wild, and I think it's about to be a really big thing. Like, it's whether you want it to or not, it's going to be part of your life.
Oh yeah.
And specifically Theo Vaughn, I see his all the time.
With the babies.
Comedian with a big podcast. He's been on Rogan a bunch of times, and they've taken like the YouTube videos of the podcast where it's him and somebody else talking, Rogan or whoever, and they're turned into like animated babies, like cartoon
but they're
characters.
Very realistic looking.
Oh yeah, and it looks like them just in a child form, and of course it's got the actual voice from their actual recording they had done, and it's just something about it makes it hilarious.
It is,
which Theo's hilarious anyway.
Yep.
But and so Logan got him because it was funny that you posted that because I was like, I'm not as experienced with like the AI stuff as you are, but I was like, I asked it, I was like, can you turn a normal video into like animated babies talking?
Yeah.
And it told me no, it could do an image but couldn't. So
yeah, it was Chat GPT, but
you got to be paying for probably like the super premium version to be able to actually turn the video in.
The video is pretty intense.
So do you pay a subscription fee to it?
I do pay for Chat GPT. Yeah.
I've had some other podcast stuff that I listen to that have talked about how big time AI is about to be and how much we can utilize it, and some of the scary parts of it too.
Oh, I don't use Google anymore.
But they said basically, like, if you're just using the free versions, you're way underutilizing it.
Yeah. It's not that expensive. I think it's like $20 a month or something.
And whatever, I don't forget what the one this guy was using wasn't Chat GPT. It was actually one I'd never heard of. But he said, it is saving me so much time. It is well worth the $20 a month or whatever. Like, I'm saving so much money that I could be I mean, it's eliminating some people's jobs. Like,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's,
Well-
it's going to come for more and more of those.
Dude, I use it on the farm a lot. Like down at the farm store, spraying produce. A lot of the chemicals, if I use like a certain fertilizer that's a liquid, like a foliar fertilizer, well, you look on there and it's for like acres, and the rate breakdown is an acre's like, or 100 gallons of water, like, and so.
And you're doing like square feet.
Yes, I'm doing like literally like 60 or 100 head of cabbage. And so it's like, well, hell, math was never my strongest suit. So now I don't have to do it because I will literally text or like ask ChatGPT. I'll be like, I've got Megafol, and I need to apply it. I'm going to use a 2-gallon handheld sprayer and spray this cabbage. What rate do I need to use? And it'll be like, oh yeah, 1.5 teaspoons per gallon.
And that is actually one of the exact examples on that particular podcast. They were talking about how it could be used, like for some of that type stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I it's actually really funny. It's funny and scary because I joke because I love the Terminator, and I'm like, it's gonna kill us. Like I used to say, the zombie apocalypse. I don't think so. I think the Terminator's going to get us. I actually just saw a video today where like some robot in Japan or China they were building freaked out and started. Did you see that? And like the little Chinese dudes are like, they're like running away, and this thing is just viciously like pumping its arms trying to get them, and it's like got a hook hanging up here and holding it back. So, I think the Terminators are going to get us.
The first video I saw of it was like, it was trying to be funny. It was like making a meme. It says, when the robot hears heavy metal for the first time.
It's kind of getting into it like that.
Like a dude like going wild at a heavy metal concert. Yeah.
But I told Marcy, I was like, this is the part that's kind of weird. I don't know how to take this. ChatGPT has forgotten stuff. Like it forgot to do something that I told it to do. And that's kind of concerning to me in a little way. Like because that's a little too humanistic.
I was about to say, it makes it
more
human.
Yeah, like I use it for all kinds of stuff, and I had like kind of formulated like actually like a workout plan through ChatGPT, and it was compiling it into like a booklet for me, and it was taking it a long time because sometimes if you give it like an intricate thing, I mean, dude, this thing, you could probably make ChatGPT write an entire book. Like it'll write anything. But
oh yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like I've seen people making fun of it too, saying like, you need to start eating better because the doctor that's going to be taking care of you in the next few years is using ChatGPT to get you med school.
Yes, and they are. But like I had told it to make this thing, and so it was making this booklet, and it was like it'll take. I think it actually told me it would take like 8 hours, and so I just didn't think nothing else about it, and I think I even asked. I was like, do I need to check in on this? And it was like, no, I'll notify you when it's ready. So I'm like 10-4. So the next day I get up and I look and I don't have the booklet in there. So I was like, I got on there and I said, where's the booklet? And it was like, oh yeah, I forgot to, or it was like, oh yeah, let me start on that again. I didn't finish it or like something. And I said, you forgot. And it said, I did. Sorry. And I was like, I literally said, how the hell does a robot forget? And it was like, sorry about that. And so like I told Marcy, I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah, it's getting a little like you have like a relationship with it.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like it is so tuned in because again, I don't use Google no more. Like I ask it stuff, it responds like me now. Like I'll be like, can I do this? Can I do so and so here? And it'll say, hell yeah, brother. Yeah.
I was gonna joke.
So it literally does. It will say, hell yeah, brother. Like it talks like me.
You're like, no, you dumbass.
Yes. Like my ChatGPT, the one to me is getting dumber. Like as it's like working with me. Like soon I'm gonna ask it a question. It's gonna be like, hell if I know. Like, I mean, so it might be good that I'm using it because I'm gonna be like the kink in the chain. It's gonna like pull down.
That's gonna keep it from totally taking over the world.
Yes, yeah. Mine will be like people are gonna ask you to do something. It's just gonna be like, hell yeah, brother, I got you. It's like Hulk Hogan in ChatGPT form. So, but
we have just started using it in the vet clinic.
Oh, really?
Not. It's basically just a program, because one of the biggest pains in the ass of the job, besides just dealing with people, is medical records.
Yeah.
And when I say dealing with people, like,
He hates people.
No, and it's
He hates all of his customers.
like 90% of my clients, fantastic, but staff issues, and
he hates his
whatever.
staff.
But it's the medical records, which are a total pain in the ass. So there's this program, and of course we have a little sign on the wall. It's like we're recording the conversations for our medical records, and it's really damn good.
Oh, really?
We have an iPad that's just sitting there, and it's just listening as I'm talking to the client, and it saves me so much time, because when I get done, my assistant has it in the record.
Wow.
And like sometimes you have to go in there like, no, that's not really what I said. You have to change a couple things, but like for the most part, especially because like sometimes I'm talking to a client for like 30 minutes explaining something really complex, what we need to do, and like then I have to sit down and like, what all did I tell this client? Because
dang, that's pretty cool.
When it comes in a week from now, it might be on my day off, and they need and just it's and we're in the infancy of what it could do.
I use it all the time. I used the crap out of it today.
There's some of our diagnostics that look at images like of urine samples.
Yeah.
And we've been using that actually for years. And well, again, it's eliminating jobs in some ways, because like used to, I would look at all that stuff myself under the microscope. And when we first got it, I was like, I don't trust that.
Yeah.
And, I wouldn't really use it. But more and more, but like it gets smarter as it goes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's getting better.
Because they do these updates. And like the more images it reads, the better it gets at reading images. And now it's to the point where it's definitely faster than if I did it manually. And it's probably more accurate now.
Well, that's like with the picture, like the baby picture that I made of us. I mean, the babies, they look like babies. Now, except for the fact that mine has a beard and yours has a mustache.
Yeah.
But like, aside from that, they look like babies.
Oh, yeah. It's hilarious.
It is.
I've used it a little bit. I don't always use it, but to make my thumbnails for my YouTube videos.
Yeah.
I'll take like an image. I'm like, okay, this is the basic image I want for my YouTube. I was like, I want to like have them like, I don't know, because I don't ever use filters, but like make this look.
If we were 80s action stars, that's us there. Yeah. And it even got Ag Zagger right on that one.
Yeah.
And on there. See, sometimes the words is where it might have a hard time, but
well, I've noticed that like when I use it for my thumbnails.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll be wearing a shirt that says something, it'll change it to something completely different.
Yeah, like Ass Zaga. It's
not perfect.
No, but and it's not supposed to. See, here's another concerning part. It's not supposed to put firearms in their pictures. Mine will put firearms in the pictures. Literally.
Like, this dude is a big gun guy. We'll go ahead and throw guns.
Dude, I told it. I said, make us, and I can't hardly show y'all. Again, y'all just need to look on our Instagram. I told it specifically, make us a picture where we look like a pair of like Scarface cocaine cowboys. Give us some cocaine in the middle and put a gun with it. And it wrote back and was like, I can't put weapons in there, but I can put some merchandise in like parentheses or quotations. And so then literally that's the next picture it sends. And there is a damn gun and like a magazine right beside it.
There's a 1911.
Yeah.
Right
and so I wrote back and I said, you put a gun in there. And it was like, look at that. I did. Like,
that is kind of scary.
Yeah. So I'm like,
it's like wink, wink.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Yeah. That's
so. Yeah, it's crazy. Did I show you the big buff version of us with cocaine?
Yeah, you did send me that one. Yeah, it is so smart. It knows what it's not supposed to do, but it also knows that it can
get around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like let's say I'm like,
well, and that's scary because obviously the people that created that one are like, yeah, we're not going to let it make weapons or images of weapons, and it's just like
instead it's like,
if you can't stop me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. So. It is crazy. There's y'all didn't know you were going to get some chat GPT or AI chat.
Yeah.
But you did. And again, I mean, I use it even to help me on research for topics. And so we do have several topics tonight. Oh yeah, here we go. Well, hold on. Before we get into that, I do got to talk about something else. Double L Farms. Don't tune out, man. Don't tune out. We're not going to get into like the relationships of farmer and wife.
I'll be honest with you, I can't. I still have not watched.
There you go.
Anymore.
See,
Yeah.
so don't get mad. I know right now he's like, gosh dang it, here they go. No. This is you. I feel like you'll probably agree with us on this one. This one I have watched. I'm actually up to date. Me and Marcy have been watching it, but I've been getting really tickled by this group of guys, man. One of them, his name is John. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Dude, this dude did a get ready with me. I didn't know this was a thing, but you said like a guy had a viral video.
Yeah,
of it.
another one that went viral. Like, basically, these people like going through their like
Midlife crisis.
I assume it's probably started with like women, because like
You would think.
especially like fashion.
Oh, I thought you said
influencers.
fat. I thought you were to say fat women.
Hey, we love them all. But yeah, two dudes that are married to two really skinny dudes.
Yes.
But I tell my wife all the time, if she put on 20 pounds, I'd still love her.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I would assume like fashion influencers, like, because it's a way for them to be like, oh, I use
Yeah.
olive oil, face cream, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that
Yeah.
even a brand?
Olive Olay?
Oil of Olay?
Oil of Olay.
Is that like a?
Is that like Land O'Lakes?
I don't know. Yeah.
They use
It's
Land
probably like a
O'Lakes.
Walmart brand, and people are like, "Oh, I wouldn't use that shit." But anyway, they're like, "Yeah, this is the makeup I use. This is the."
Gotcha.
the
So it's a
face cream."
women's thing.
Well, I
more.
would assume it probably started there. I mean, I don't
It
watch
seems
a lot
very womanly to me. Well, John, that's on there, that's on the
of.
show.
Well, he was at like the ACM Awards or something, wasn't
Something was that is ACM or CMAs,
he? Yeah, whatever.
whatever they are. Anyways,
Some awards show that I have not watched.
yes, he was like, John is. Oh, he's got like the deep, smooth voice, and the women are into
He
him.
knew what he was doing, because I got into the comments, was immediately what I do.
It was tons of women.
They were literally.
They're throwing their panties
There
at
was
him.
not a pair of panties still on anywhere.
Yes.
So I'll hand it to him. Bro knew what he was doing.
Oh yeah, he's a smooth cat. I can't give him no crap there, but his routine was pretty comical. Like he went through, he shaved with it, and he was like, I'm having to use an electric razor. I hate that. And he like shaved with it, and then he like lotions his face, and then he's got some eye cream, and he puts the eye cream on there, and then he ain't got an ounce of body hair.
Yeah.
Which I judge a man. I'm sorry, guys.
I mean, I would assume he must shave his chest.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't, because I'm not judging the fellas that just can't grow body hair. Because
hell, I can't grow much chest hair, but hell, I've got a whole lot more than he's got. I mean,
I was saying, man, I bet you that dude.
and hey, no homo, he's a good looking dude.
Yeah.
and he's pretty jacked. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, he had no chest hair. I was judging him immediately. I'm like, come on, man, it's kind of sissy.
Yeah.
And then he then proceeds to lather himself with lotion. I don't think I've ever done that in my life, except for maybe like if I'm at the beach and we're putting sunscreen on. And actually, typically, Marcy does that.
Yeah, I use it as an excuse to have my wife put her hands on me.
I do too.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not putting sunscreen on, so she rubs me down.
During the winter, like my back will get super itchy and dry, and so I'll.
How do you put it on your back?
My wife.
Oh, I was gonna say.
She's like, you could do this. I put it on my own back.
You're like, man, my lower region keeps getting really bad. I can't quite reach it. Can you put some lotion down there for me?
Yeah.
My back's hurting.
No, absolutely.
Got catches in my elbows. I can't quite get my hands down there.
She'd be like, you could totally reach those areas. But
That's
literally,
understandable.
That's all. I put lotion on my hands during the winter.
Yeah.
When
Oh
they're
yeah, my
cracked
knuckles
and
will be
bleeding.
splitting open.
But yeah, I've
Yeah.
never like lotioned my whole body.
I had never done that. I don't. And it just.
And I will fully admit again, my skin probably does not look nearly as nice as his.
Oh yeah, I mean, by the time I'm like, assuming I live to 60, I may
But yeah,
look
the
like
amount
leather.
of time he spent on skincare.
We're already halfway to the show by the time he got done.
Yeah, I mean that's more time than I spend in the shower, shaving, getting dressed, everything.
Yeah, it's more time I spend shaving, for sure. Yeah, but, well, it was funny because I messaged a buddy of mine. I sent it to him, and he's also a farmer, and I was like, this looks nothing like my routine. And he said, yeah, I literally get up in the morning, and he said, I splash water in my face, brush my teeth, and then I'm out the door. And I was like, yep, get up.
I don't even splash water in my face. Like,
Dude, I have to, I will splash water to get the sleep out of my eyes, and that's about it.
I take a leak. Like if I'm going to do farm work that day, I'm not, because I'm going to the vet clinic. I usually shower in the mornings, but yeah, I take a leak, put on some deodorant, and brush my teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just an animal.
That's how I am. I mean, I got buddies that they live off, like one of them lives in like Austin, Texas, which it's like a very hipster place. It's like the hipster capital of Texas, I guess.
That's what it's people I know from they call it San Francisco at the south.
Yeah, and Nashville is our Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
But he's in Austin, and he gets like a pedicure and manicure, and he shaves his chest. And
I chew my fingernails.
Do you? I'll pick them with my knife.
I can't tell you the last time I used fingernail clippers. That's probably disgusting to a lot of people.
That is a bad habit to have.
I mean,
you get worms.
I use nail clippers on my toenails. Yeah.
You don't chew your toenails?
Like literally, I don't even, yeah.
If you could get your toenails up to your mouth, would you chew them?
I used to when I was younger. I'm not that flexible anymore. No, I'm just kidding. I've always, yeah. Anyway.
Well, yeah, he'll give me shit because like when we go to the beach or something, if my wife puts up pictures, I mean, I'm a hairy fella, and hell, I'm proud of it. And I'm like brought down my back hair. I'm not a big fan of my back hair, but that just comes with the territory. And he's always like, man, you need to shave that shit. And I'm like, sorry, my wife likes a real man. Like she's not into your metro ass. So I don't know, man. I'm still of the old like the old school thinking where when I see a dude and I guess I shouldn't be like, hey man, if you want to take care of yourself, take care of yourself.
Well, where I would defend him a little is that, of course, we don't know how the show ends. Does he end up with a woman or not?
Or a man.
Yeah. Hey, we're not judging, but as a bachelor, a good-looking dude, he knew what the ladies wanted.
Oh yeah.
Because again, if you're judging it just based on the comments,
he was successful in that
department. The ladies
department.
were 100% into it.
For our listeners that have ever seen the movie, if you need better reference of his routine, if you've ever seen the movie American Psycho with Christian Bale, it's basically like Christian Bale's morning, like his routine, like and for reference, he's a psychopath in the movie. So I feel all right with my lack of a routine.
And of course, I've never seen the movie.
It is a very bizarre film. Yeah,
but he goes through an extensive routine.
Very extensive. He does like a daily face mask and lotion, and he's ripped in the movie. But yeah, and he has no body hair, but he's like a super narcissist. Like he's obsessed with himself, and he's a murderer. So yeah. So John might be a murderer, but I don't know. I just think it's funny. That's what. Yeah, like I said, man, rest easy, double L, because I'm not digging this season. Man, I'm just not digging it.
I haven't been able to get into it at all.
Yeah, Brandon and Ty, those dudes were awesome. We had them on the show. Who was the other one? Landon and
Alan. Like
yeah.
I still
Oh wait, who were the other two last season?
Yeah, because Landon and Alan were two of the ones from I guess
Nathan and then Mitchell. That was it from last season. Yeah, and all them dudes for the most part seemed like they were legit. So
yeah.
I don't think any of them are.
Well, and even I can't think of their names. I'm terrible. Hunter.
Yep.
Yeah, they were all like, seemed down to earth country boys.
The ones on this season seem like not all of them. Colton, he seems like a pretty normal cat. Jay, I think he seems pretty normal, but tell you, man, Matt and John, I just can't quite put my finger on, man. So
it's just
They seem like a little bit of fame seekers there. So, but yeah. So guys, hey, if you're listening in, and you might be one of the most hardcore farmers, you might have ran 150 miles of barbed wire today, but your morning routine is buttering your butt cheeks and waxing your eyebrows. I mean, hey, no judgment here, but it's just kind of, I guess it is kind of, I can't say no judgment because I'm judging, but we're just kind of making fun of it a little bit.
We're just moderately judging.
Yes. Like I'm looking at this through the lens of like our grandfather. If Big C walked in on me in the morning and I'm like slicked up hairless and I'm lathering lotion on, he would immediately assume you were gay. He would. I was going to say he would. I don't know that I would ever have been able to change his mind, like his opinion of me. I could have sired like 15 children, and I think he still would have questioned me.
He would have always, that would have been the lasting image. Yeah. It's like he wouldn't have been mad. He would have just been disappointed.
He would have, yes. He might have just shook his head. Yeah. So, no, there is a lot that's happened in ag. Now, me and you both had one topic that we were both on board or talking about, so you kick it off.
Yeah, so...
On the screw tape letters.
The what?
Have you never read the screw tape letters?
No, man, I don't. Was it a movie?
No, it wasn't. That's a C.S. Lewis. You know who C.S. Lewis is?
Oh, well, yeah, that's not even, yeah.
Yeah, screw tape letters. It's like the devil writing a letter, or the screw tape. He's like a demon writing letters kind of thing. It's a Christian book. Yeah, screw tape letters.
Man,
you're a reader. You ought to check it out.
Yeah, I am a reader. Yeah,
sorry, it's not one of those 50 Shades of Grey like you normally read.
Yeah. I just do that one on audiobook. That way when I pull up to the stoplight with my windows down.
Like we said before, he slowly inserts his penis.
The car next to me, like,
yeah,
like, what? But no, the New World Screwworm.
Yeah.
Little bastard just keeps popping back up. Closed off the border to Mexico from cattle imports, basically.
Yeah.
I guess it may be any animal imports, but as far as is directly related to agriculture, cattle. Which of course the border was already closed down. It seems like it's getting more publicity now.
Yeah.
But they closed it down back, I think it was like around the 1st of December or so, and it stayed closed for 6 or 8 weeks. We have not had it in the U.S. yet. It was been eradicated here like in the 40s or something.
Is it inevitable?
I don't think so, because it's still, I think 700 miles south of the border is the closest they've detected it. Now, of course, reason to believe that it might be a little closer than that, maybe in some animals that they just haven't identified.
Yeah.
Still relatively not that close to the border.
Yeah.
But we do import cattle from Mexico, or we did. And so, we don't want it. The big difference is the larva of the fly will feed on living flesh. So
okay.
it's not like your typical maggots.
Yeah.
Which, of course, we had those already and have to worry about those, occasionally getting on. That's why we don't like having summertime calves and whatnot around here to get on the navel, whatnot. But, pretty nasty. Obviously, I've never experienced it, never had any dealings with it, because I've never practiced veterinary medicine outside of this country. And so, we haven't had it. So, and apparently in Mexico, it's getting a little closer, and apparently they're just not really doing jack shit to try to slow it down, or not as much as the USDA would like. So, I think Brooke Rollins announced it was over the weekend that effective like Sunday night, there would be no more cattle imported, which Corbett, of course, he hit on it. I think there were some cattle that had already been through inspection that officially crossed the border like on Monday, but after.
So there's no way they can really check for it.
Well, no, I think they do. I don't know the exact process that the cattle have to go through when they enter through those checkpoints and then are sold. But they do undergo inspection. But of course, obviously, they're worried about, what we call like a subclinical infection, where it's not just blatantly obvious. And, these inspectors are government workers. I'll totally shit back on them. They're probably not that good at their job. They're half-assing it.
They're like the TSA.
Yeah, I would imagine it's something like that.
This is probably not a job a kid grows up like dreaming of doing.
Right, and I'm sure there's probably some out there that are really hardworking and take their job serious. But for the most part, government job.
For the most part, yeah. Well, we're gonna talk about government jobs.
But that's a big thing, and so it puts some more pressure on the cattle market. As if this thing, could stand to get any higher. But I don't know, the market's kind of softened a little bit, like in the last day or two. Corbett actually hit on that this morning about how a little bit worried that
there's a road might be coming to an end.
Well, there's a lot of these like fund managers and whatnot that they love to short the cattle markets.
Yeah.
And once that thing starts dropping, they just pile on like crazy. And so I mean, it's really good. I mean, historically good. It even if it goes down a little, it's still going to be really good. But yeah, that was one thing that really had some positive news. Although I think the actual number of cattle we import from Mexico is not massive relative to our herd, but we are also at smallest herd size in the U.S. within like the last 75 years or something.
See, that's interesting. So it sounds like, to me, it sounds like the numbers ought to be going up on cattle, the prices.
Right, and they did. Like numbers did jump up on Monday, and I think even on Tuesday, but they're kind of looking at some other stuff, and there's been a few people that are kind of just worried this thing.
It says the U.S. imports over 1 million cattle a year from Mexico.
Okay.
So I don't know what percentage that is.
Roughly 1 million, like, was kind of the general number.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a massive number, but a lot of the guys, kind of Texas, Oklahoma, kind of the Southern Plains area that, background stocker, some calves, they rely on sourcing a lot of those from Mexico a lot of times. So, yeah, not a good time to be buying cattle. And
no, you might could buy some cheap from Mexico, if you wanted to go get some over there.
And this is one thing I thought of, because these things, I mean, they can affect, I guess, any mammal. I don't even know about other.
Like a deer?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What about a human?
Exactly. And we sure as hell, I mean, at least the narrative is, we ain't stopping that.
So we basically need to shut it off. If your ass is in Mexico, you better just keep it there.
Like, as awful as it sounds, like, these things can absolutely be infected in people.
Yeah.
And
some guy's got like a mean bump on his ass cheek, and he's like, I'm not telling anybody about that thing.
Well, yeah. And like, I mean,
dang.
Could it potentially be brought across the border, in some of these places where they're at, which I don't know the exact status of the border. I know, obviously, with the Trump administration.
It's 700 miles from the border.
Yes, that's the closest it's been documented. But,
yeah.
But I have wondered, I was like, could it actually end up here, and it's not even from imported cattle? It's
just
carried
from
across by a person that's infected.
Yeah. Man, I wouldn't put anything past it.
Because we know a lot of those people are coming from way down in Central America, not...
Yeah.
I mean, like a lot of people say, all the Mexicans that wanted to come across have been here for decades now. It's people from, where's MS-13, Guatemala or whatever.
Yeah,
Some more people from like South America, Central America.
Good, fine individuals.
Or even from like Asia that come to Mexico and then walk across the border, because that's easier than coming in legally. But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There you go. Well, there's one of the things. Another was, and I knew something was going on, but the U.S. and UK have struck, they've got a trade deal in the works.
I saw that.
Did you, do you have much crypto?
I have some Bitcoin.
I've got Bitcoin, Doge, and XRP, and all of those skyrocketed like over the last week.
Yeah. Bitcoin's been up about.
Oh, dude, it got up to like 108,000 or something.
Yeah, it's in the low hundreds right now, and I unfortunately have not been in the Bitcoin game for long.
Yeah.
And when it went over 100,000, like into last year, it's kind of like, I ought to buy a little, and I did.
You bought it at 100,000?
I'm on a recurring buy, like every month I buy like automatically, and so my average price is actually like, I'm doing really good, because then it dropped way down. It got down like the upper 70s.
I'd say my price is 66,000.
Yeah, mine's like 92.
But I don't have very much.
I'm not doing that good.
Yeah, I only have 100 Bitcoin.
So what would that be? Like $10 million?
I was going to say, yeah, I do not have 100 Bitcoin. But
I do not have one Bitcoin.
No, I don't either. I do not either. Doge is what I have the most of. But I got a lot of XRP, but not Doge. But I noticed it had jumped up. So I was like, what is going on? So yeah, on May 8th, U.S. and UK announced a trade agreement enhancing market access. Now here's some of the key points of it. The first one is beef and ethanol exports. The UK is going to reduce tariffs on U.S. beef and eliminate the 19% tariff on U.S. ethanol, allowing up to 1.4 billion liters of duty-free ethanol imports. So that's one thing that kind of, and our markets on the commodity side have really not shown a whole lot of difference. But it says the deal is projected to create a $5 billion opportunity for U.S. exporters, including $700 million in ethanol and then 250 million in other agriculture products. Now, the British farmers don't like it. They're expressing concerns over competition from the U.S., particularly regarding our food safety standards and the impact on domestic bioethanol industry. So the farmers there are like mad. They don't want to see this deal, which I understand. I get it. And hey, we got some European guys that tune in. I'd like to hear from y'all. If any of you Euro guys are farming, I'd love to hear from one of y'all. Like, write into us. Again, go to talkdirtpodcast.com and contact page. Write in. Let us know what's it like. Give us your side of the story.
And I'm completely ignorant to. I've never been to Europe, UK, the mainland Europe.
I want to go to Scotland.
But I mean, the UK is a relatively small land area.
Yeah.
But with a very big, very densely populated.
Yep.
My impression of them, and maybe this is completely off base, is that they have to be a huge net importer.
I would think
of
so.
All kinds of agricultural goods, because a land area that relatively small, but with that many people. But I don't know. And obviously we're a huge land area, but we also have to export an enormous amount of our goods because we produce way too much. So maybe they are the perfect land area to population to have a good balance where they produce just what they need. I would have assumed that they needed to import.
That's how I would have thought. Yeah.
All kinds of goods, not just ethanol and, beef.
They're the largest importer of KY jelly.
Where is KY even made?
I don't know. I just made that up.
Well, is this going to be a Made in USA segment?
You know what? It might be. That might be Made in USA. Yeah. No, I was like, what? My brain was like, what is something that they could import a lot of? I was like, KY jelly.
I would assume KY jelly's made somewhere in Asia.
Well, I can find out real quick.
ChatGPT.
I was going to say, let me ask it'll be like, hell yeah, brother, it's made in USA.
Oh, my goodness. But yeah, I don't know. The whole ethanol thing still kind of, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I know for you grain guys, it does help, add some value to grains. But do we even really need ethanol?
I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff that's conflicted on the ethanol thing. Why
does the UK need to import ethanol?
And seeing
I go out of my way to buy gasoline that does not have ethanol.
I was gonna say, especially all of my small motors, I run non-ethanol gas.
And I'm trying to think. And my Jeep is a gas burner, of course. My wife's SUV, and so we just pump regular gas that's got 10% ethanol or whatever. But what I put in my commodity jugs that I bought from agzaga.com, even though they're not made necessarily government legal for gasoline, I go put non-ethanol gasoline in those.
I do too.
Because all my side-by-sides fuel injected, but on my lawnmowers, you don't want it in any kind of a chainsaw.
No, it'll eat up your fuel lines.
Yeah.
So here's where KY jelly's made. Now I'm going to just read you. It's not that long. It's 2 paragraphs. This is from my Terminator here. KY jelly, the slick stuff trusted by lovers, fighters, and the occasional awkward nurse, is made in Ortho Clinical Diagnostics Facility in Rochester, New York, under the Johnson & Johnson legacy. It's forged in the industrial Northeast, not in some soft focus lab, but in a real deal pharmaceutical grade plant built to pump out lubrication with military precision.
So it really does generate these answers.
Here's the last part that's even the best. So next time you crack that tube, know this. It ain't made in some back alley shack. It's born in a cold steel American facility crafted for maximum glide and minimum bullshit.
How much have you talked to this thing to get it to
I use it all the time. I use it all the time.
That's both hilarious and terrifying all at once.
Yes.
Oh
man.
My goodness.
Yes, I use it all the time. I use it, like I said, for researching on here. And I've even used it sometimes if somebody gives me a really stupid comment on social media. Sometimes I'll highlight their comment and I'll send it to ChatGPT and I'll be like, give me a really asshole response.
Something
Like
really
if
snarky.
Yeah, like if I don't feel like taking the time to do it myself, I'm like, give me something that's really snarky, and I'll send it to it, and it'll formulate one. I'll be like, here you go, and then I can be like more brutal, and it'll be like, you son of a bitch, like, you know, it's like it'll get just straight up ugly. So yeah, I use it all the time.
Oh Lord.
So
have
now,
mercy.
if you message me and you get like a very personal response, like it's me. But if you
Hell,
comment,
Logan, we can never trust this.
you
again.
can't now, because if you message me and you get like a hell yeah brother, then you won't know who it is. All right, so we got that deal. Now this third one, this one was kind of interesting because I just had a conversation. I went yesterday and 2 days ago and had my blood work done. I went and had all my labs, and I'm pretty sure the doctor, the nurse practitioner I see, thinks that I'm trying to get on anabolic steroids, because I got a full performance panel, and I took a list of what I wanted her to do, and she was like, why? Well, like some of the things that I wanted her to check, she's like, why do you want me to check these? Like, she's like, only people that check these are running cycles of steroids. She was like, are you wanting to take steroids? And I was like, no, of course not. But never.
Unless you've got some.
Yeah, unless you could, got a good deal on some. No. But so I'm a bill of health besides my cholesterol. Was your cholesterol high?
Yeah, but like I tell those assholes, I'm like, all right now, I can't eat no damn carbs. What the hell you want me to eat?
What was your cholesterol? You remember?
Hell, I don't know.
Mine was like 140. But I have learned, I'm not going to go down this whole rabbit hole here, but I did learn that like actually higher cholesterol seems to combat dementia. Low cholesterol.
Well, and see, I've heard conflicting, opinions on how worried should we be about cholesterol. Has cholesterol been demonized unfairly?
Yeah.
And my whole thing was just like, I sure as shit don't want diabetes if I have to take something for my cholesterol at some point. And like my dad, he's a classic. He's like, oh, you can't help out your cholesterol. He always, it's like, even Mama Brown, she was in her 90s.
Lived to be 94. Her cholesterol is 400. I hear that shit every.
Yeah, it's like,
last night we went and had dinner at my parents', and that's what I said. Hell, damn, I got high cholesterol. Hell, Mama Brown had high cholesterol. She lived to be 94 years old. She smoked cigarettes, and like, I'm like, just because one person does, don't mean that I'm be the one that dropped dead at like 50. Like,
well, but that's the thing, because that's one thing I will give, and I love my doctor, but like whenever they call me with results, like it's just like the nurse or receptionist, I'm like, hell, if one of my patients has like a problem on their blood work, if it's normal, my assistant will call them. But if there's anything to discuss, I call them.
Yeah.
But now one of his assistants always calls, a nurse, whatever, and I'm like, all right, your A1C is high, your cholesterol is high. And I was like, well, wait a second. So what do I do here? I mean, my A1C is high. I'm basically not a total keto
get on Ozempic,
diet, but I do basically kind of keto.
Yeah.
Like, so I eat bacon and eggs every damn morning. Like, what do you want me to eat for breakfast?
Yeah.
I mean, just drink some water. Yeah.
Well, you know what shocked me? Like, I had two things that were off. My cholesterol was high, and I had a low vitamin D, which was crazy because I'm outside every day. I told her, and she said, because when we were talking before, she was like, she said, we'll check your vitamin D, this and that, which actually, like, I'm kind of pumped. I was actually kind of glad it was low because she's prescribed me a vitamin D vitamin. Now, it's a really high dose, but vitamin D, if you have a deficiency and then you start taking it again, it can actually increase your testosterone by like nearly 20%. So like I was telling Marcy tonight, like we were riding, I was like, yeah, because, I got a bunch of buddies on TRT and they're all like, yeah, it puts a little extra lead in my pencil. Like that's how some of them describe it. And so I was telling Marcy, I'm like, hell, I get taking this vitamin D. I might pump my testosterone up 20%. I said, shit, I might be like a rabid dog. And she's like, that sounds horrible. But it's so I was shocked because I'm outside every day. And she said
you're right, yeah.
She was like, if you wear sunscreen a lot, then you're usually low. I never wear sunscreen. Like, I don't ever wear sunscreen.
Well, sunscreen's one of those things that's kind of under attack by the Maha people.
Yep.
Like now, sunscreen.
I don't know what to believe.
I'm like, God dang it! I thought I was gonna die of skin cancer.
I think I'm gonna pick up smoking. Like, I just,
Which now there's all the conspiracy theory people that are like, well, but Johnson & Johnson, who makes the sunscreen, also makes the
vaccine
skin cancer treatment. So I'm like, holy shit! Like, I know if I put on sunscreen, I don't get sunburn as bad.
Yeah,
it's not as painful anyway. But
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, dang, we're just all gonna die.
We are. That's kind of where I'm like, man, you know what?
And that's one thing we're certain of.
We are gonna die. That's where I'm like. So that's why you need to know your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because that's the one thing you can count on there.
That's what I get asked all the time, and it's usually like just by the assistants where we're back. Like, you think this dog's gonna die? I said, you're damn right I do.
At some point.
Like, the answer is always yes to that question.
Yes.
You better get comfortable with that.
Well, all that to say, when I went, I was talking to one of the nurses there, and she's got a family member that works for one of our local FSA offices. And she was telling me that, I was like, is so-and-so going to retire up there? And she said, yeah, I think she is, but before Trump screws it up. And I said, oh man, what do you mean? And they're not, she's not a Democrat. Like, they're not, these are very conservative people. And I said, what do you mean? She said, well, he's going to close a ton of them. Like, he's closing a bunch of the offices. And there's
a bunch of people that are pushing like a defund the USDA.
Well, here's how many cuts they're doing. He's cutting 6,000 employees. And then there's people really concerned because apparently that's scientists and researchers. But now some of the research and stuff they've done, it's been really stupid. Now, so what I'm saying here, I love our FSA office. We got a great FSA office. We got a great NRCS office. Like, for people who don't know, FSA is Farm Service Agency. NRCS is National Resource Conservation Service.
But both of those are under the USDA.
Yes, and
they share, at least in our county, they share an office.
They do, with Gateway Schools. But we have a great...
And you're not supposed to carry a gun in there, which I'm always like, what the fuck?
Who, really? That's interesting to know.
Not incriminate anything. Oh, yeah, on the damn door, it's like...
Oh, so does the same thing post office says.
Well, you're right.
Yeah, never would have done that. But they're shutting down some, and she actually said that they might close ours, and the closest, like, they might make those people go to Fayette County. I said, dang, that would suck.
Sometimes you're probably the same way when I get mail, or I get, like, maybe that's the emails I get. It's from the Fayette County FSA. And I'm like, why the hell do I get this?
Yeah. Well, they are talking about closing some of those, and actually it was going to, because from my understanding, most of the time what they do apparently is they just lease a building. And so they're paying a lease on this building. And like I said, literally half of it now is Gateway Community Schools.
Yeah, that will be a pain in the ass because I don't go by there often, but at least 2 or 3 or 4 times a year I need to go by there and do something.
I bet I go to FSA 20 times a year.
Yeah. And
I don't want to have to drive to like Somerville or somewhere to go to FSA. I mean, right now it's a 15, 20-minute drive. So I don't know. I'm hoping they don't shut that one down, but that is one of the things they're doing. One of the last things here that I did want to talk about.
Well, and kind of on the USDA subject, caught some of the headlines. I guess they're trying to pass a spending bill or whatever, or a new farm bill.
Yeah.
The latest thing, they were going to cut a bunch of the SNAP benefits out of it.
Oh, really?
Which, of course, that got a enormous amount of backlash.
Democrats jumping.
Yeah. And I don't know enough details of it to talk about it extensively, but talking about, which, I mean, nobody wants anybody to go hungry. I'll be at the top of that list. I do still think it's really weird that gets slapped in the farm bill.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the people that want to shitbag on ag, that, we get all this money, you're like,
70% of it goes to SNAP.
That yes, the vast majority of the farm bill has
nothing to do with farmers,
other than the fact that those people are eating food that at some point way back down the line was produced by a farmer.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't know. Well, have you heard of this Point Reyes, the Ranchers Challenge?
Yeah.
And say they're challenging the federal land use changes. It says the ranchers Bob and Nicolette Neiman have filed a lawsuit against the National Park Service, arguing that the removal of ranching operations undermines sustainable land use and local heritage. So the settlement reached in January of 2025 involves the voluntary cessation of operations by 12 ranches within 15 months, while 7 ranches receive 20-year leases. So
it's in California.
Yeah, what is their plan to do with this land?
I do not know. It's been an ongoing story for a few months.
I see here what they're going to do. The plan aims to increase habitat for native elk and enhance conservation efforts. But ranchers are arguing that managed grazing supports biodiversity and prevents wildfire and erosion hazards, which I would probably agree with.
And again, another subject, I'm not incredibly well versed on it, so I don't. Did the ranchers own the land?
Well, the way it sounds is they were leasing it, because it talks about all these leases here.
See, I was kind of under the impression that a lot of it was privately owned, but
well, if that's the case, then how can they? Yeah, then
through like eminent domain. Now, again, that's where I'm probably not knowledgeable enough on the subject to talk about it intelligently. But yeah, these ranches that have been there for generations, like multiple generations, like they're forcing them all out.
Yeah. Well, it's that's typical California. I mean, sorry.
Right, and I'm, we're so far from California, and our opinion of the whole state is so tarnished by just those few urban areas. Like I almost see California news, and I'm like, yeah, I feel sorry for y'all, but I mean, what are you gonna do? It's California.
That's what I am, and I hate it because there's some
extremely
good,
rich agricultural state.
Yes, and some damn good folks there, man. I got a lot I've met a lot of people. It's funny in the old podcast used to do. A lot of guys in the tactical firearms world, they live in California. Now a lot of them,
just a lot of people live in California.
Yeah.
Period.
But it is crazy because I'm like, man, you live here in like the worst state for guns almost. The second one might be Illinois. So it kind of shocks me, but. Yeah, I feel bad for the guys because, look, I understand, because everybody's like, well, why don't they just move out of there? What you think? Some of these people might be on, a 5th-generation farm that's, they're the ones carrying it on. So
right, I would think about that. Like, what if that just, all of a sudden, Tennessee was flipped?
Yep.
And I'd be like, hell no, I ain't leaving.
Yeah.
They can leave. Like, this is my home. Like, take it from my cold, dead hands kind of thing.
Yep.
But, yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, that is a story that's starting to get a lot more attention, and I think not directly related to the Maud case we discussed last week, but it kind of a lot of that same crowd and a lot of the same media that had really gotten behind the Mauds and helped push that.
Yeah,
seems like are now shifting
to this,
and so it's like, yeah, maybe this thing will get up enough steam.
We might pick up a kind of a little rally group here. Yeah. Well, last one I want to touch on. Did you see the thing that Bill Lee signed in, the Preservation Act?
I don't guess I did.
So this is local to Tennessee.
Tennessee Governor Bill Lee.
This is actually pretty interesting. To the point that I'm told Marcy, I said, I'm curious. So he just signed this May 12th. It's the Farmland Preservation Act. And basically, it creates a permanent conservation easement program allowing farmers to voluntarily protect their land from development. You can put it in here, and from my understanding, that you get 2 appraisals done on the property. You create a land trust, and then when you do the land trust, they'll come in, and it sounds like, now this is really new, there's still a lot we're learning, but it sounds like they would give you basically almost a commercial estimate of an appraisal and then a base appraisal. And let's say you get a base appraisal of $5,500 and you get a commercial appraisal of $8,000, that's per acre. They will pay you $2,500. They'll pay you the in between amount, the difference. They'll pay you that. And that's so that you will lock it into this conservation. You still own the land. You can build a house on it. You can build ag structures. You could build a barn. You could build stuff for your farm store. Like you can build things that are agriculture related, but it can never be developed into like a subdivision or commercial. Like you couldn't build a strip mall on it, but you own it. You can still lease, like, or you can put liens on it. Like, you know, if you had equity in the farm and you wanted to buy this over here, you can use it as collateral. It's like forever. So like if it sells way down the line, you know, your great grandkids will be cussing you because they're like, damn, granddaddy put that farm in a land trust. We can't never do nothing with it.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it.
It's interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, part of you wants to say, well, hell yeah, let's do that. But I don't know.
And you can still sell it. You can still sell it, but now you're obviously going to get less for it because it's not commercial.
You know, I'm looking at, you know, farm we own, you know, and so I don't know what it would say. It's worth $5,000 an acre for development. It's worth half that just as farmland. But if I lock it in, I go ahead and take that $2,500 an acre they give me right now, and then 5 generations from now, I mean, gosh, that's assuming land values will do what they've always done.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be pennies. You know, it's going to be worth, you know, $50,000 an acre for development, and you know, $25,000 an acre. And so that little bit of money that I cashed in on it, and then my great grandkids, and I don't know, at that point, who knows what the world would even look like.
Yeah.
I would, you know, fast forward 150 years or whatever, maybe I would want them to get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Cash out for as much as possible and go to Alaska.
Yeah.
You know, or somewhere.
But see, to me, it's cool.
I don't know. Like, I
look at
giving the government more control over my private property, which is kind of what that's doing.
Yeah. Oh, that's the part that would be questionable. But it's
just on the surface, you're like, well, hell yeah, like we're all about like stopping, you know, urban encroachment and loss of, you know, farmland, wildlife habitat, all the such. But
yeah,
I don't know. Like giving government more, like them coming in and solving any problem just sounds like a bad idea to me.
Well, I'll tell you, it's one of the first things Bill Lee's done that I've actually been like, this might be all right. You know, because he's been kind of a big disappointment. You know,
and he has. I will agree with that. Because he's a cattleman, big Hereford guy.
Yeah.
Of course, I voted for him in the general election.
Yeah.
We had a pretty, because in Tennessee, whoever won the Republican primary was going to win the governor.
Oh yeah.
So it was a pretty tight. The primary race was really the race.
Yeah.
And a lot of people I know weren't really behind him, and I was like, you know what, he's a cattle guy. I kind of, you know, he built a successful business. I was behind him, but yeah, the whole COVID thing turned me off to him.
Yeah. Yeah,
he towed the line as far as he didn't go the DeSantis route and say, yeah, we're not shutting down.
Yeah. Did you see DeSantis is teasing doing away with property taxes?
Yes, I did.
Man, I would just be the happiest man alive. I would love to see. I mean, I think property taxes are ridiculous, which that's what he says. Yeah. He's like, you never actually own anything. He said you spend
all the right things.
He did. He's like, you spend 35 years of your life paying off a place, and then the government can take it away from you because you don't pay taxes.
You're basically still just renting it from the government.
Yes.
Oh, here at Talk Dirt to Me, we are 100% anti-tax.
Across the board, yeah.
Period. And I got to thinking, I was like, I guess I could do the math, look it up. What percentage of the taxes I pay each year are property taxes, and it's going to be pretty small. I think, you know, compared to income tax.
But it's the point,
right? No, there is nothing more ridiculous than property tax.
Yes.
I actually, and I'm not much on Facebook, but I've been on there like just Marketplace here more lately. Apparently, the city of Munford
is skyjacking 45%. 45%, but they've backed it down to 23% now.
And the mayor, because I know the mayor, I respect him a lot, and I saw his reasoning. He said, you know, that's just to keep up with inflation.
Yeah.
And I was like, you make a good point there. You're right. If you agree with property tax in the first place.
Yeah.
And I think in the first place. Like, it is the most ridiculous thing ever.
Yep.
Which I don't know if the mayor has the ability to, like, unilaterally just say we're going to stop doing property tax.
I don't know.
I'm sure it would wreck the budget.
Yeah.
For the city.
Well,
but and look, I understand we need stuff, but at the same time, I'm like, but if this tax is completely unfounded and I would borderline say, I don't know if unconstitutional is the right word because I'm not a constitutional lawyer.
Yeah.
But, like, to me, there's no justification for property tax.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's going to save children dying of cancer. Like, that's a great cause. I will admit, putting sidewalks in town, not a bad thing to do.
Yeah.
Paying our local police force, not a bad thing to do. But when you're literally extorting landowners just because you can, year after year after year, no. Let's get that money from somewhere else.
Yeah, no, I agree. I
don't
totally.
care what we got to do to raise that money, but property taxes ain't it.
Yeah, no, I agree, and that's what. So I'm like, man, I'm hoping this is going to catch some steam.
Jack up, and I'm anti-tax on anything, but hell, I'd rather them jack up sales tax, within the city or something else.
Well, and that was the thing because we're about to get a Chick-fil-A and a Zaxby's
Just
and
what
all
we
this
fucking
stuff.
need is another chicken place.
Well, that's what we're getting, Zaxby's, which is
shitty protein for my fellow citizens.
We're gonna have a Zaxby's in Covington, Munford, and Millington. I was like,
hell, it's damn good chicken, but the best chicken in the world is still an inferior protein.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm just like, man, why can't we get something just different? If we're going, let's get something different.
I hate it because I personally know several people that own local restaurants.
Yep.
And like that shit, the chains, man, it's hard to compete with that shit.
Oh yeah, that's where people are gonna go. I will tell you this, then as we wrap up here.
And Chick-fil-A is the Lord's chicken, like those people. But to me, they ought to shut down the Chick-fil-A's, every Chick-fil-A, and put all those people in some other, like whoever's running the Chick-fil-A's.
Let them run off.
They need to be like running like the DMV or something.
Hey, you know who's just as fast? Arby's. Arby's is just as fast.
Buddy, you've been to different Arby's than me.
Have you been to the one in Millington?
Because I have said for a long time, if I'm going to eat fast food, Arby's is menu-wise top of the line.
Yeah, man, they got the meats, man.
We have the meats. Willis says that all the time. We pass Arby's like they have the meats. Hey, roast beef. I just can't eat the damn bread no more. So I'll be the weirdo. It's like just throw all my meat and the beef and cheddar in a box, the fork. But I don't go there much anymore. But some of the worst service I've ever had in my life.
The one in
Arby's.
Millington?
So I've not been to that one very often because it hasn't been open that long.
Yeah.
But I've been to Arby's all over the Southeast.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm speaking specifically the one there in Millington.
Actually, I'll tell you a good story when we get off air. Somebody I know personally got into like a physical altercation with somebody at the drive-through window there.
Wow, at Millington?
Somebody working there.
Wow.
I'll give like the 30-second rundown. Basically, they got their order wrong, and they were, and this person, I think they probably got a little short and like, hey, my order's wrong.
Does their name start with a W?
No, you don't know this person.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure. And pretty much it escalated. Like the dude working, which sounded like was a little bit, probably
felon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, just probably batted for the other team.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
It was like almost baiting him into like starting and I think the way the story went was he literally, because they didn't want to fix it, he threw his bag back in there. He's like, "You're gonna fix that, right?" And the guy like literally came outside, was like running around like he threatened, like it was full blown. Like I wish somebody was filming, like, and I was like, I'm never going to that one again, which again I hadn't been in a long time anyway, because it's kind of a buzzkill when you can't eat the bread.
Dang, yeah, that would be a buzzkill when you can't eat the bread. But
I love Arby's.
Yeah,
generally.
But see, the one.
But I would always say, like, I've always said, if you could get Chick-fil-A's management to take over Arby's, you could put every other fast food chain out of business.
Well, and like I said, man, I've been to that one in Millington because I'm in Millington farming quite a bit, and so I'll catch that Arby's there because yeah, man, they even got a Reuben that's really good.
Oh, the Reuben, the beef and cheddar.
The beef and cheddar is just a beast, man.
You go ahead and you get like the triple meat. Hell yeah.
Yes, I get the biggest one and like 27 napkins.
Then they have like that smokehouse brisket.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like no. Beef, and I'm a beef guy all the way.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But yeah, So I don't know. All right, guys. Do you got a company night? Hold on. I think I got it. I don't have it on the board yet, but I got it coming.
Hell, I don't know how it can be anything other than KY jelly.
It's
y'all gonna get a bonus one tonight.
Yeah, hold on here. I got it for you.
I've been watching a baseball game with one eye.
Are you ready?
Hold on.
I got the guy.
Oh,
not on the board yet. I'm doing Bluetooth. It'll be a little higher quality.
Okay, well, hell,
but
I didn't even have to quit watching my baseball game.
But I got it.
My Vols are kicking ass. I need to get it back going.
I've got it here because I'm going to actually transfer it to the board. So, all right, here we go. Oh, wait a minute. I guess I need to turn the volume on mine. All right, here we go, guys.
We're high tech.
Yep.
Let me start off with 2 words. Made in America.
That is so much better.
Yeah, I was going to say the quality there. And then just wait till it's on the board.
Yeah.
So, who you got?
Officially. So, and this is one, I love it when I have one of these moments where it's a product I've already been using.
Oh, yeah.
And didn't even realize it. Tub O towels.
Oh, yeah, I've used those.
I was about to say, I bet you got
I didn't know they were made in USA.
It's one of those deals. I was driving down the road the other day, and they're wet wipes, but they're like for grease and for working hands, kind of thing. Almost like a Clorox wipe kind of canister.
Yeah.
But for getting grit and grime, they are made in the USA.
Nice.
They were sitting there in my passenger seat of the truck. I've got shit everywhere.
Yeah, you do.
And I just happened to look over there. It's like,
dude, that's
little American flag.
I keep those in my service truck all the time.
I was almost certain because I bought mine.
Wow.
At Kohl's, but went back when it was still Kohl's before it was Napa now.
Man, I would not have thought they were made in USA.
Yep, made in the USA.
Tub of towels, yeah, they're legit. Like I use them, they will. Man, I've gotten like axle grease on my hands before and use these things, and they will clean your hands. And they're awesome. Man, that's great. Yeah, tub of towel. I can put a stamp on those as well. So, I got the hiccup. Check them out, and real quick before we end. I did go and watch 1923. I finished it. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
All right. Now, so guys, here you go. I'm going to tell you right now.
Which, it's not a spoiler alert because literally the final episode was like a month ago.
I'm going to give them a little time. If you're listening to this and you hadn't watched yet, then you need to you probably should stop this. And you could end this episode, or you may just want to fast forward to the very end. Whatever. But because we are going to drop some spoilers here, because I got some thoughts about this finale.
Yeah.
All right. So we've given you, I feel like, confident amount of time now. If you haven't heard it yet, you're about to hear some severe spoilers. So here we go. I hated the finale.
I didn't hate it. I was really worried that Spencer was never going to get to Montana, and that we were going to have to.
I was too.
And we were going to have to wait for a season 3, which would be like 3 years from now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I thought when he got there, he didn't really disappoint.
Oh, no. He did what I expected.
Because at first it's like, man, it wasn't quite as crazy of like him stacking bodies. And then I got to thinking back, it's like, they were
pretty much smoked about.
There were 2 pretty damn good shootout scenes where they were stacking bodies.
He killed like 12 dudes in about 60 seconds.
When they what was the evil guy?
Whitfield.
When Harrison Ford's telling him, because I don't even know his name, and
Jacob
is telling him, he's like, we're gonna kill you in a way that.
Yeah, I was disappointed in how they killed him.
Well, then they just shot him in the head, which that's a pretty brutal way to die.
I know. Have you ever seen Pulp Fiction?
Yeah.
When the big black guy, he's getting raped by like the Gimp, and they come in and they get him or whatever. No, he's not getting raped by the Gimp. He's getting raped by he was the bad guy in the mask. Then Bruce Willis and them come in and they save him, and he like pulls his pants up and he's got a shotgun, and they're like, you want us to help you? And he says, no, I'm about to get medieval on his ass. And like, that's what I was expecting. Like when Harrison Ford said that, because it's not like this show has been discreet or like left anything up to the imagination. So I'm like, oh shit, they're about to like skin this bastard alive. And
they gut shot him twice and then shot him in the head. I'm like, man, that was a really merciful death.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, man,
his house down,
I'd chop his fingers off and blow his kneecaps out or something.
Which I guess
cut off his eyelids.
They were wanting to make an example out of him, so I guess then you'd almost need to make it a public display.
Yeah.
Which then it's like, how do you get away with it? But then I was like, well, how'd they get away with it anyway?
They should have castrated him as like a messed up dude as he was.
And then like shoved him down his throat.
Yeah, made him eat his nuts and made him. I'd have put like toothpicks under his toenails.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I was disappointed in their kill on him, and I hated that Alex died. That just made me mad.
Man, I guess, I don't know, because it's the same way like with 1883. Like,
the ending of that made me want to commit suicide.
well, it's really sad, but it's like, I don't know, I guess I look at it where it's like, there's not going to be another season.
Yeah.
But
There is. 1944.
Right, but Taylor, but by the time you fast forward, I guess they could have been old in that one.
Yeah.
But
because apparently Spencer's going to be in it.
But it'll almost have to be a different actor. I mean, I guess
that's what
him old.
they're wondering, because that's the word on the street is he going to be recast because it'll be 20 years. But I'm like, he's at the age he is now. I feel like they could just age him 20 years. It's not like he's a teenager going 20 years.
Yeah.
So I'm like, they could probably age him.
Make him look old as hell.
Women are so in love with that dude that I almost feel like they have to recast him.
Oh, he's a badass.
Yeah, he is. And I mean, yeah, like I can't even have the conversation with like Marcy and them. Like if we get to talking about it at my parents' house, Marcy and my mom are just like, "Oh man, Spencer," ugh. And I'm like, "Can we just talk about it without hearing?"
Is it because he's such a badass, or because he's so
my mom's like, "He's so pretty," and Marcy's like, "He is so pretty," and I'm like, "Can we just have a normal conversation about this?"
but yeah, I mean I guess because I'm kind of watching that finale knowing I'm never going to see these characters again.
Yeah.
Which I guess it's not that different than watching a movie that,
Yeah.
is not going to have a sequel, and you get sad when the main character dies. But, yeah, I don't know, when they were talking about how they were going to have to, like, amputate, like, arms and her legs, it's like, oh, God.
I was worried.
She went all Augustus McRae on them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was
it's those
lonesome
Montanans.
dove.
It's like, yeah, which neither one of them were Montanans, but when they got to Montana and they needed limbs chopped off, they said, nope.
Yeah, well, and I mean,
I guess Gus, he did let them cut one leg off.
Yeah.
When it came to the second one, he said, no.
When they pulled her gloves off and her fingers were black, I was like, oh, shit. And then her feet were, like, really bad. That's what because Marcy had not been watching it, and I got her, I was like, you got to watch this last half of the finale with me.
Well, with her being a NICU nurse, like, the baby was only 6
she
months
was
along.
very annoyed with the end
like,
of that.
There's no.
Yeah,
like,
she was like this. She got, like, actually angry when we were watching
that
it.
was like how I got during the Yellowstone season 1 when they like saved John's life in the vet trailer.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
And I was like, no. That's when I said they totally jumped the shark. But
that's how Marcy was, because we're watching, and she births a 6-month-old, and the doctor's like, there's no chance this baby's going to survive. His lungs are not developed, and then he starts crying, and she picks it up, and she literally pulls
Marcy
her.
was probably the whole time was like, yes, he's right. He's
Yeah,
right.
she was like, we can save those babies now because we put them 100% on the ventilator.
It's 100 years later.
Yes.
Like 101 years later.
Yes.
It was actually 1924 at this point.
That's right. And then she also takes the child and she pulls her titty out, and he instantly latches on her titty. And Marcy was like, no, that's not how it, like this. It doesn't. So yeah, all credibility that they might have had was gone with her at that point. And then, but for me, I'm like, this is like the movie Cold Mountain. And in the movie Cold Mountain, it's about this dude trying to get home from like the Civil War, and he's trying to get back to his woman. Me and Mom and Dad, I went and saw this when I was a teenager with them. And the whole movie's about him trying to get home to his woman. At the very end of the movie, you've done dedicated like 2 or 2.5 hours of your life to watching this bastard go through pure hell trying to get home to his woman. And by God, he gets to like almost to her. I'm pretty sure they can see each other, and then he gets shot and killed. And I'm like, you got to be shitting me. And that's how I felt on 1923. I'm like, the whole season is them trying to get together at the ranch. Alex is literally going just to try to get to the ranch. She's going through hell and back, and
she's
that's
been
what
arrested. She's been raped.
Beaten
and robbed.
Yeah, man, and
froze to
their death.
Well, I guess she did freeze to death.
Yeah, pretty much. But I'm like, you and some people I've said that to. They're like, well, he tries to keep it realistic, and I'm like, well, how realistic is it that she was even alive at that point? I'm like, it's already bypassed realism, and so I was mad. I'm like, man, give us the damn satisfaction of a happy ending in one department. Like, hell, Jack gets killed, and I'm like, that chick leaves. I'm like, shit, man.
Because of course she was pregnant, and they thought she lost it, and then she got the rabies, and then was pregnant again. So I wonder, does she go back to Boston and have the kid, or
I don't know. And there's some speculation that she's the chick that Spencer ends up cracking and having a child with.
Oh, see, I got online because I was like, I gotta, just Googled
the lineage or something.
Yeah, the family tree, and so
Spencer's the grandfather of John, right?
Yes.
This John that was born is not Kevin Costner. He'd be the next John.
He'd be 100 years old right now.
Yeah.
Or in Yellowstone, or he'd have been 95.
Yeah.
Whatever. So yes, that would have been, because John, I would assume John is roughly about my dad's age.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that would have meant he'd have been born in the 50s. So
yeah,
the one that was just born would have had him when he was 30, roughly.
Yeah. Well, that's Spencer has a kid with a widow.
Yeah, I caught that.
And that's what some people are thinking, that it might be Elizabeth, which is the chick that just left.
Oh, she would be the one. Well, and I kind of thought about that. It's like, well, that would kind of make sense that they might get together now, because they both.
Hey, she's good looking. Spencer should have come back and been like, "Hey, lady."
But she left. I mean, I guess obviously, maybe.
Was she gone by the time he got? No, she was still there when he got there, though.
Right.
She watched him kill a bunch of guys. He could have been like.
Right, but I guess as it's ending, it's showing her getting in the car.
No, I was saying Spencer should be like, "Stay here, man. We can do some cracking."
But it also, I mean, I would imagine if he would have married her, or if he would have had a relationship with her, he'd have probably married her, because she was already family. He would have because it said I forget how it worded it, but basically
he took the comfort of a widow,
but never would marry her.
Yeah, and then he dies at Alex's grave at the end of the movie, or end of the show.
He was still so in love with her, he could never bring himself to marry another. It could be.
It just ticked me off that Alex died. I'm like, man, Taylor Sheridan, he's a great writer. He's writing 18 things at one time. He's got apparently a movie with the guy that played Spencer is coming out soon. And then there's
ladies get ready.
Oh yeah, that dude, he's about to explode. He's already in several movies, but and they're making another at Yellowstone show with Luke Grimes, and he's going to be returning as Casey Dutton. Have you seen that?
Like a
Marshals or
whatever.
something. Yeah, it's something about his time as a marshal or something.
Oh, so it'll be like a prequel?
Well, I guess it's after.
Oh, okay, it's not it's a marshal, not like him in special forces or whatever.
Yeah, so it's
well, what it is, I mean, let's be real, it comes down to money. And
they're making a shit ton of money.
Yellowstone was every bit as wildly popular as they could have ever imagined, and so they just kept spinning that off, and then, which I really enjoyed 1883 and 1923.
1923 was my favorite.
Yeah,
and I loved every character's story. Even the Indian chick trying to get away, I loved her story. I felt bad for the Irish guy at the end. I actually even felt bad for him when.
Because and I called my shot there. I said which he didn't totally double cross. What's his name? Whitfield.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Whitfield?
It was.
I know it was a W. Because he had made the comment. He's like, I'm not scared of anything, but that man scares me.
Yeah.
Or he's evil.
He said he's evil.
He's like, I've done a lot of bad things in my life, but that man is evil.
Yeah.
I kind of had predicted, I was like, he's going to double cross him and join up with the Duttons, which he doesn't do that. He
does kill the guy that's about to shoot old Jacob.
Yeah.
He's about to shoot him, and then, the sheriff blasts him. So, yeah, I felt bad for him there. But I get, because he literally shot Jacob with a Tommy gun. So it's like, I kind of understand why Jacob's got hard feelings towards the guy. Like,
Yeah.
if somebody shot me like 8 times with a Tommy gun, I'd have a hard time.
Well, and killed
befriending them.
I guess that'd have been Jacob's brother that he killed.
Yeah. And then Jack gets killed. Like, Taylor's watched too much Game of Thrones. Like, everybody gets killed on there. But yeah, I was kind of irked with it. I liked every part of the finale, minus the very anticlimactic murder of Whitfield and Alex dying.
Yeah.
So the chick is a badass. The old lady, she's a badass up there sniping them people.
Oh, yeah, she was.
She's like, the things I do for this family, as she's like sniping dudes, it just tripped me out. So, yeah, there you go, guys. There's your, if you hadn't watched it, now you know a lot about 1923. Guys, we need you to do a few things for us. We need you to hit that like button, hit subscribe on YouTube. Comment below, let us know what you thought of the episode. If you have some topics or anything you'd like for us to cover, comment that below or message us, talkdirtpodcast.com, contact page, submit your messages on there to us. If there's a case, like a local thing going on, like we covered the Maud case and that Point Reyes thing, if there's something that needs some attention brought to it, send it to us.
Yeah, that would be incredible.
That would, like I said, send us stuff like that. Like, if
something that's not getting the attention that it needs, because it's fun for us to talk about stuff that's already out there and kind of break it down, give our opinion. But if we can help somebody out, shed light on on an issue, maybe get some publicity where it's needed.
Yep,
that would be just fantastic all the way around.
It would. I mean, so please, if you have anything like that, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, and leave us rating and reviews. Guys, like I said, we're sitting at 294 ratings on Apple. Get us to 300, I will start the giveaway. The moment we get to 300 and I see it, I mean, I don't get notified, but I'll check it every day. So as soon as we hit 300, giveaway will begin. And it's, again, going to be very, very epic. Guys, do that. Shoot us your messages. And what else do we need to do?
Agzaga.com, just like the hat says if you're watching on Rumble or YouTube. All the good stuff. Baling season. I'm like you in planting. As soon as I can get a dry stretch, I'm going to cut some hay.
Yep.
I'm going to be using that Bale Tough American Flag bale net wrap that I got from agzaga.com. Great pricing to begin with. Then you use that discount code, Talk Dirt, all caps, all one word, take you an additional 10% off. Delivered right there to your door. Can't get any more convenient than that.
There you go. All right, guys. We will catch you next week.